to be back on the practice field?
It is. Today was really sloppy, but that was by, you give guys a week off, after 14, since you've been going since the end of July. It's going to be sloppy, but the intent was there, the energy was there, all that was there, so I was happy with it, but obviously we knew it was going to be a little sloppy today.
Kenny, that first meeting last night after guys getting back, you sense anything different or new with these guys?
No, guys are excited. Guys are excited to be back out here. They're excited to get back to work. I think they had a good little break there, mentally and physically, so it's time to get back at it.
How hard is it to navigate things like the portal when you're trying to prepare for a game and yet there's all this other stuff going on?
It is what it is. There's always distractions, whether you're in football, in life, regardless of what you do. You got to be able to manage situations, and you got to be able to compartmentalize things. So there's times where you got to focus on football. There's times where you got to focus on the portal. There's times where you got to focus on your own guys. It's just part of it. It's always balancing multiple things.
How many guys of your guys that went in the portal are practicing with you?
Marquiston's practicing, who he committed to Florida State, which is awesome for him, getting back to where he started, where I originally coached him, which is great for him. He's out here practicing. He's going to be huge for us here in the Peach Bowl. You have Kamari Wilson, who's out there practicing, who's plays for a lot of packages for us on defense, and he's back out here. Then you have guys that just still want to be a part of it out here too. Like the Bordas, who's over here in one-on-ones, and the guys are getting excited about him getting a rep and winning a rep in one-on-ones. So we kind of got a mix of guys that are helping us on scout team versus guys that are going to help us on game day. But like I said in my press conference, my job is to help these guys, and if just because they want to enter the portal doesn't mean they shouldn't have the opportunity to continue to be on the team to finish out the year if that's what they want to do. There's no manipulation tactic behind it. It's merely just be on the team or not. It's up to you, but just know you're supported either way.
Kenny, when you were talking,
I would just the demand that he sets in terms of toughness, physicality, effort. He's definitely set a really, really high standard in that room for what it looks like to achieve at a high level. I think he's a winner, and when you have winners throughout your program, good things happen.
Kenny, when you were stalking your team through the portal last year, bringing all the newcomers, was there a certain type of player you were looking for?
Yeah, good kids, super competitive. That was it. You're a good kid. You're super competitive. You love ball. That was our style. People that had positive attitudes or just smiles about them, right? Just talking to them wasn't miserable, I would say. I actually enjoyed building a relationship. At the end of the day, these coaches and us and these players, we're around each other so much. If you don't genuinely like being around somebody, it's going to be horrible to be around that dude for that much amount of time. So if all those things all go into it.
Kenny, have you gotten an answer yet from the league regarding the appeal of Shamari?
Yeah, as of now, Shamari's out. The rule that is targeting. I'm trying to do a follow-up. I'm going to do everything I can for that kid. Like I said, he's worked his entire life for this moment, for this game, as a senior, to potentially play in this game. And for a close call like that, or however you call it, to impact half of this kid's biggest game he's ever played in and what he's worked his entire life. I just feel like there's got to be something we can do that helps him and for the kid.
When did you get notified that he was out?
Earlier last week.
What can you do on your end beyond the initial?
I'm just going to have another conversation about it, just another phone call. Like I said, if me taking 10 minutes out of my time to make one more phone call to try to, if it's, what's that saying, so 1 in a million, so we've got a chance, right? Whatever that is. If that's what it is, it's what it is. But I'm going to shoot my shot to try to help Shamari.
What would you say has Marcus Arroyo in the running for coach?
He's a really good coach. That's bottom line. He's a good football coach. There's a reason he was a head coach in college football, and he's a really good football coach. Bottom line, and he's a really good person. He fits what we're trying to, the culture we're trying to create here by just being a good person, and also, he's super intelligent.
What has come out of the self-scout that you guys have been able to do the past week?
We're still in process, and I don't want to get too much into that just because I don't want to give away things we're going to change or tweak or use as, indicators. So, but there's been some good stuff.
Kenny, what's the challenge for preparing for a game where you don't know who your opponent's going to be?
Well, we're not preparing for that game yet. We're preparing for us. We're trying to fix some things that we got to get better at. trying to fine-tune some things from our perspective and get our conditioning level back up, which is why we started practice a little bit different today. And we'll do that the next 2 days and try to kind of flush the system, get back to a good mindset. You know, we haven't played a 4-quarter football game. When we play in the Beach Bowl, it would have been 6 months since we played 4 quarters of football. You know, our starters didn't play in the last quarter of the U of A game. They didn't play the last quarter of last week's game. So it's going to be literally six weeks, and since they played 4 full quarters of football. And that's the number one thing I'm trying to balance right now is that. How do you keep these guys in conditioning shape when it's going to be 6 weeks since they've played a real full football game?
When you look at the defense, I mean, the improvement from last year, is it more talent elevation or just like getting used to the system in year 2?
I'd say a combination of both. I think our players are really good. I think their understanding of the system is better. And I think the competition that we have makes people better around them. I think the standard and the competition around the rooms only elevates people.
Having some time to reflect and players having the first time of a break really since August and July, what did they kind of come back with and add perspective and just being able to digest everything they've accomplished so far?
Nothing like that. I mean, they came back and they were all in the meeting room like 11 or 12 minutes early. I mean, our standard's 5 minutes early, and we started our meeting 11 minutes or 12 minutes early, whatever that was yesterday. So that's how they came back. They came back twice as early as they normally are. And to me, that was a sign that they're hungry to get back here. And like I said, the energy level and the want-to level today was really good. But when you don't do something for a week, you know, it's going to be a little bit sloppy. And like I told them at practice, I'm not mad. This is part of football. Like, now we've got to grow out of the sloppiness this week. We have 2 more days to get the sloppiness out of us. So when we know who our opponent is, we have 10 straight days of true prep where we get to, you know, good prep. We're not worrying about conditioning levels. We're not worried about the sloppiness. We're worried about the opponent.
What does it say about almost none of your 2 deep being in the transfer portal through 1 week?
Yeah, I mean, I think people like being here. I know it sounds so boring to like such a simple, like, you know, the day. I think kids are happy here. Like, even the guys that are in the portal, we got a bunch of them still out here. Like, they're just happy here. They're enjoying it. This is an unbelievable season. I think they're treated well here. I think guys genuinely know people care about them here. I think, I mean, it's 68 degrees out today, and we're playing for a championship in the end of December. Where else can you do that? The lifestyle's good. I just think the development is good. Guys are getting better. I think all of it is just a place where people just want to be. They like each other. And I think in this world where it's difficult to build culture, and there's, you know, everybody says you can't build anymore, you're building teams. I'm maybe old school and I may be stuck in my ways, and even though I'm young, I still believe that culture is important. I still believe trying to retain your roster and keep your roster and keep the guys in your roster happy is still important. And I still believe in all those old school principles.
In keeping all those guys, is that also a sign the administration is kind of stepping up in terms of NIL money, the collective, and the community?
Yeah, I mean, I think the community's done an awesome job with everything. And I think, like I said, I think our guys are making sacrifices to want to be here. And I think that's such a cool thing that, you know, they want to be here. They know what they want. And, you know, who knows? There's still maybe a couple guys that go in. You never know. Things change with tampering and people always doing it. It's not even tampering. It's illegal. You know, other collectives calling kids. You never know what's going to happen at the end of the day. But I know this. The majority of our guys, if not everybody out here, truly want to be here. And if a situation happens where they can't be here because of, you know, A, B, and C from something else, that I get it. You know, it's everybody has their own life. You know, you got to do whatever is best for yourself and whatever can get you to where you want to go. But I'm just happy everybody's out here today. We're competing, and I think the guys want to be here.
How has the recruiting side of the portal gone so far for you?
It's been good. I mean, we had 2 guys visit this weekend. You know, 2 of the guys visit this weekend. 2 of them committed, and that's big time. You know, for us to have, you know, 2 of the guys that were here this weekend commit and sign, which is definitely different. You know, you can sign guys so fast. That's why the portal's just operating so fast. We'll have another guy show up today. We'll have about 5 to 7 guys show up midweek. Some other guys this weekend. So, you know, we're not taking a lot of guys out of the portal. So we're being very, very selective with who we take, who we bring in. And the hardest thing in this process is seeing really good players and saying no. It's not saying yes to every really good player. It's It's meeting guys, getting around guys, and then being like, man, this dude's super talented, but I don't think it's going to fit, or I don't think it's going to work. It's the hardest part is saying no.
How many
What
of those
can you
did
say
you?
about- I heard you say earlier that Jeff Sims plans on coming back. So what does that say about him, that he wants to be here when he's probably obviously not going to be the guy?
Yeah, and I don't want to put words in his mouth. Up to this point, we had a conversation about him coming back, so I don't want to, whatever he chooses to do, I'm going to support him. But I do believe that's his intention to this point. And it just says, just goes to what I said earlier. Like, kids are happy here. They feel like they're being developed. They feel like they're getting better. And at the end of the day, when you're a competitive person, all you want to do is be at a place where you feel like you're growing. A lot of people are just growing. They feel like they're getting better and that their game's getting better. And then he's genuinely happy here. And I think there's great power and happiness.
But knowing how much you had to restock your roster last season, was it difficult to say no to some players if they didn't fit who you wanted, but you thought maybe talent-wise they could help the team?
Yeah, talent's great, and there's a lot of teams that can acquire so much talent, it doesn't matter. I don't think we're one of those teams. I think we have to be a team that we acquire talent that fits us, talent that fits our vision, talent that fits our program, talent that our guys like, guys that are super competitive. Our guys talk to our guys on visits. Our guys know most of the guys that we bring in. And if they're like, Coach, this dude isn't a dog, or this dude isn't competitive, or I called my buddy at school A and they said this, all right, that's not the guy for us then. Yeah, even though we had him ranked number 1 on our board, the same token, like the mentality of people is equally, if not more important than the physical skill set. Now, don't get me wrong, you got to have a physical skill set, right? Like, because great, I'm competitive, I can't go out there and play. But if you hit the physical skill set to play, and you may be, 2 to 3 notches below somebody above you, but we know you're wired right, I definitely want that guy that's wired right.
Players being twice as early as usual, what does it say about their desire to achieve something even larger than everybody expected them to do already, and yet they're still not satisfied?
Yeah, if you're satisfied, now, golly, something's wrong. You have an opportunity to be one of 8 teams left in college football playing for something. Like you hear him right now. That's awesome. That's exciting. But if you're satisfied, when you have a chance to be one of 8 teams left in a sport that started with over 130, and you're like, oh, well, we made it. Golly, that'd be disappointing to me, because I think we're different than that. And I think the fact that they showed up shows that they're different than that, we're going to, game by game, day by day, we're going to be the very best versions of us and see how far we go. See where it takes us.
Have you had a chance to reflect on your own personal journey going from coaching at the park and trying to use a car light to light the field to coaching the baseball?
I have not. I don't really. I'm not much of a reflector like that. This isn't about me. I know I have a fun story, so people like to make it about me, and it's cool and unique. But this is about the guys. This truly is. I think we're the 6th in the history of like sports or something. I saw we're the 6th biggest underdog to achieve. I was reading something, it was like the miracle on ice was 2 and we're 6. And I'm like, come on, guys, let's be a little more realistic. Maybe you guys just didn't, maybe just the changing of the college landscape has opened up an opportunity for people to be, greater outliers. But that's not taking away anything from our guys. It's more, I felt like we had a good team from the start. And I think our guys have definitely exceeded expectations. And I think they hope to continue to exceed expectations, but this isn't about me.
If the Miracle on Ice was number 2, what was number 1?
I don't even remember.
Was it Douglas Tyson?
I don't remember what it was. Some friend of mine from high school sent it to me. And I clicked it, and I looked at it. I thought it was going to be one of those links that are a joke. I clicked it, I'm like, what funny thing is about to be in here? And I'm like, oh gosh, we're number 6 on this list. Bad list.
I know you're tired of talking about yourself, but you always have said that you're a positive person. Where does that stem from? Did that go back to your mom, your dad? Where does that come from?
I don't know, probably my mom. It's not just the positive. I believe if you want to achieve, I think anybody can achieve what you want to achieve. If you want something, there's an avenue to do it. Even if you don't know there's an avenue to do it, you can find a way to get it done. Even if people say it's impossible, okay, it may be impossible, it may be very difficult, but you can at least give it everything you got to achieve it and not make excuse. Okay, like when I was here many years ago, like I got demoted the day before fall camp by Todd Graham for Taylor Kelly. Like that did not feel good. Like, was it the right decision? Hell yes. Taylor Kelly wanted to be a GA and I was a nobody. Promote Taylor Kelly. I agree. Demote me, right? I don't blame it. But it's like, if you let all that stuff affect you in a negative way and you don't just stay focused on just being the very best version of you, then you'll never achieve what you could have achieved. So it's more just the mindset of control what you can control, not just being positive. It's like, I can't control these bad things that maybe have happened, but I can control my response to them, and I can repeat that control over and over again. And that's what I think we're trying to instill in our guys, is like, who cares what people say? All you can do is your best over and over and over again. And if you do that, you should be happy because you gave it your all. Like, what else could you be mad about? Like, you did everything you could. You lost. Sorry. Like, be pissed off for a little bit. But then you did everything you could. Repeat.
How did the group of Carson Miller, Corey Stevens, Grayson Berry, Coleman set the base for your coaching career?
Yeah, so I coached that group in middle school. I coached the middle school Cocoa Paw flag team and the middle school Cocoa Paw dodgeball team. Our flag team was really good. Not a very good dodgeball coach. I think we finished like dead last in the city tournament, so that was not good. Too many plays.
The dodgeball team might be getting back together this week. Do you have a message for them?
Yeah, be better than we were. Find a better coach, because I was not a good dodgeball coach at all. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
We all silly like the mayor.